today's video, you'll be learning about factoring quadratics. In order to factor quadratics, we'll start off with the first one. So how do you factor the first one? Well, in general, you want to think of two numbers that when they multiply together, they multiply to get the constant, which in this case is 8. So when they multiply, they should equal to the constant. And when you add the same numbers together, they should add up in such a way that they equal to this term right here, the term with the constant and a variable that is raised to the first power. And that's why it's called factoring quadratics. So they should equal to this number here, this term right here, when they add up. Okay, and in this case, right, when we think of those two numbers, we get 4 and 2, right? Because 4 times 2 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. Now, since 4 and 2 are positive numbers, we write the whole product such as this. This is how you factor it. Okay? Now for the next one. And notice that they're both positive, right? It's plus 4 plus 2. And that makes sense, since positive 4 and positive 2, when they times together, equal 8. And positive 4, positive 2, when they add together, they equal 6. Now for the next one. Now, this one, we know that 2 and 2 make 4, and 2 times 2 make 4. So, it's x plus 2 times x plus 2. Or, if you use other type of algebra, this can also be all raised to the square power, which makes sense. Now for this one, what two numbers times 6 equals 6? And when you add those same numbers together, when you add those two numbers together, will equal 5. So pause the video, try to find two numbers that multiply to get 6, and also add together to get 5. Well, did you get 3 and 2? Because that's the right answer. Okay, so it's 3 and 2. Now notice all these answers, these factoring problems, they'll have positive, right? All pluses in the answers. There's no negative, there's no x plus 3 times x minus 2. Now I'll give you an example of that. So here we'll just do x plus 2x minus 8. Okay. Now it's the same deal here, but we're gonna have a negative number though. So what two numbers, when you times together, equal 8, negative 8, but when you add them together, equal positive 2. And in this case, you should get one negative number. Whenever the constant here is negative, and the constant I'm saying, you should definitely get one negative number. Alright, do you get 4 and 2? Sorry, 4 and negative 2? Because that's the answer. 4 plus 4 and negative, right? Because 4 times negative 2 equals negative 8. And then 4 plus negative 2 equals 2, right here. So, negative. And we can prove this equals x squared plus 2x minus 8 when we solve it again. So go here, go here, go here, and go here. Remember the FOIL method? FOIL, as a recap. I'll make a video on FOIL if you guys don't understand FOIL yet. But anyway, x times x, x times negative 2, 4 times x, and then 4 times negative 2 is, yeah, it equals the original quadratic expression. Now, let's say for example, if you have this, a term like this. As you can see here, it has no x value. Like there's no a constant, and then next to the constant an x raised to the 1 power. So how do you solve this? Well, in order to solve this, right, there's this theorem in which you take the square, right? We know that this 4 is a square, right? So this theorem in which, since 4 is a square, right, 2 raised to the 2 power equals 4, you can write this as x plus 2 times x minus 2. So all I have to do in this case is find the square root of the number of the constant when it's written like x squared minus 4, and then make one product, x plus 2, or whatever square you have, whatever the square root was, times x minus whatever the square root was. In this case, whatever the square root was, in this case it was 2, and you get your answer. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say if you have x squared minus 9. In this case, you would have to do x minus 3, right? Because the square root of 9 is 3. And then you want to put x plus 3. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we making plus 2 and negative 2 plus 3 and then negative 3? Well, if we FOIL this back, right? Let's just FOIL it. We get x squared minus 2 plus 2, 2x, and then minus 4. As you can see here, these terms will cancel out. And then we'll just be left with x squared minus 4, right? And that's why we want to make the square root negative and positive, so that when they get multiplied by the x's, they can cancel out and we'll get our original, what we're trying to factor before. And the same thing will happen here. X times x is x squared minus 3x plus 3x minus 9. And you get the same answer right here. This will cancel out and we'll get our previous, what we're trying to factor before.